Fool me once and it's shame on me, but you know you better tread carefully. Fool me twice, I'm your enemy. I'm your enemy. If you push, I push back. Try to hide, but I'll hunt you down like a maniac. Down You think you can break me down, down to my core. Imposters making me a monster. Time to bloody up my sword like the god of war. You're making me the god of war. You're making me the god of. Can you feel the earth? She's rumbling. Save me from this hell I'm living in. Embers nipping at my skin again. Oh, oh. Can you feel the earth? She's rumbling. Save me from this hell I'm living in. Embers nipping at my skin again. Oh. Hate me, go ahead and hate me. You think you can break me down, down to my core. Imposters making me a monster. Time to bloody up my sword like the god of. Okay. Okay. I'm actually going to both of us in front right now. Hi. It's been a bit. More than a bit. Over a month. And you might be thinking, Echo, Ashley, your background looks different. Where have you been for a month? We've taken breaks before from streaming, but this one was more planned out, I guess, than the others were. Obviously, we're not in the same place that we were before. We're not going to give any information as to where we are. We're not going to say the state, the city, the zip code, nothing. So, you can guess, but we're not going to confirm or deny that. Because it's none of anyone's business. Our friends know where we are, and that's it. So going off of that, we can talk about things now. I'm sorry if you can hear the footsteps from upstairs. I think there's a little kid running around. Okay. Okay, let's just get into it now that that's said and done. We're not going to be putting face claims up because it's just easier to not, because there are going to be switches. There is going to be a lot of association, obviously. Give me 1 second to check something.
Okay. Okay. Let me just make sure that if I open this, it will still show up. Okay. Yep, we're good. Okay, let's just start off with the disclaimer, and I'll be moving tabs around as needed, and these are going to be a series of heavy streams. So, yeah, we have trigger warnings up on the screen in case people come in later. But the full disclaimer I'm going to read now. Please be careful when viewing this. This contains mentions of death, suicide, doxing, fake claiming, harassment, trauma, SA, slurs, sexual themes, trafficking, etc. We will be referring to this person, the main person, as Patterson, and using they them pronouns to prevent claims of dead naming and misgendering. We do not know the name nor pronouns they currently go by. Any dead naming or misgendering is not intentional and not done out of malice. Any documents, messages, etc. will be read as they are written, but any of our own commentary will use Patterson and they them pronouns. Please do not attack, harass, or seek out anyone mentioned here. This is in no way, shape, or form meant to be a personal attack or harassment campaign. There's only been one narrative out in the public, and that has been Patterson and Co.'s. Now that we are in a better mental space and a much safer environment, it's time to tell our side. We do not support anyone using this as a reason to go out and attack anyone, especially in our name. Do not try to dig for more information about these people, including but not limited to phone numbers, relative contact info, etc. The claims against us are abhorrent and false. We will be showing evidence wherever possible. This includes videos, screenshots, comment logs, chat logs, voicemails, audio recordings, etc. Anything redacted will be explained for full transparency. Most things shown will have no redactions. This includes videos, voices, faces, chat logs, etc. This is for full transparency. If the people involved in these did not want this to be shown, they should have shown everything to begin with, instead of spreading lies and conspiracies without proof. None of these streams are scripted beyond this beginning disclaimer. This document is for our own organization to sort evidence and stay on track. These streams are unedited. You may see us switch, dissociate, cry, become triggered, have flashbacks, etc. We will do our best to give trigger warnings where applicable, but we cannot guarantee anything. From this point on, please be responsible for and aware of your own triggers. This channel and these streams are not for children. If you are under the age of 18, please leave this page. Okay, so that was the disclaimer. Like it says, everything is unscripted now. Okay, let's start with the TikToks.
Attempt to get away from our hello. We've gone by many names in a desperate attempt to get away from our
Okay, this is
hello. We've gone by many names in a desperate attempt to get away from our ongoing abuse situation with the Chroma system, aka Magic Clan, otherwise known as Kira Granatella. And
so we haven't listened to these videos before. Some of them we've seen parts of, and some of our friends have seen them and told us a bit about them. This is from 2025, September 27th. And this is Patterson's current account. One of them.
We just want to know if there are any other victims out there, because we know there are several. We also just got recent confirmation that she was dating a freshly turned 15-year-old when she was almost 20 years old.
That is untrue. This is something that we have willingly spoken about and addressed already. We were 18 or 19. The person was in an art server with us, and they had the not safe for work role. They said that they were 17. It still should not have happened, but as soon as we found out, we broke it off. It was strictly online. So no, we were not 20. At the most, we were barely 19. It still shouldn't have happened, and that's no excuse for it. But you can't twist around information and make it sound worse than it is. Yes, it's bad. It's not as bad as us being almost 20 and dating a 15-year-old knowingly.
Our previous thoughts was just that she was flirting with them, when in fact she was in a sexual and romantic distance relationship with them.
None of it was ever sexual. None of it was ever sexual. We posted in the Not Safe for Work chat in the art server that they had the Not Safe for Work role of. That doesn't mean that the relationship was sexual.
And I don't think that that's gonna fly. And their friend was saying to like our friend, like, oh, if they're really the victim, then why don't they just call them out instead of focusing on their own mental health? That's so selfish. Okay, well, since it's so selfish to keep quiet and you want to silence me over and over and invalidate my experience, I will not only call you out for what you've done, but for what it's like to us, but for what you've done to other people as well.
That's fine. We've always said that we want to be held accountable for our actions. We've told our friends from the very beginning, our current friend group, who we've known for over 2 years now, we've always said, if there is a problem, if we say or do anything that is not okay, that makes you uncomfortable, tell us and we will fix it. We want to know so that we can do better. We will address things and take accountability when needed. We will not take accountability for things that we have not done.
Including that poor 15-year-old who you victim blame and say, it's their fault I dated them while they were 15.
That's not what we said. Is it okay that it happened in the first place? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we never said it was their fault. We don't see ourselves as a victim because of that situation, but we also don't see them as a victim of the situation. It was overall a toxic situation. I wouldn't call that having any victims out of it.
Yeah, like that's gonna fly anywhere. You're a pedophile and your bestiality artist. People were.
I still don't know where these claims came from. I have a little bit of an idea of where the bestiality claims came from, which we already addressed that art. Ashley had done a TikTok about it, and then a follow-up stream showing evidence, so I'm not going to touch much on that. I will be showing a group chat that we had with a few people who were in that server who knew what happened. There are screenshots in there. There's a lot of things in there. I'll be showing that. But calling us a pedophile? There's no excuse for that.
We called you out for both, yet you don't learn your lesson.
What lesson is there to learn? We have always said, if you have an issue with us, tell us so that we can fix it and do better. We tried to fix things with that other server. We told them that we hoped that they were safe and doing okay. And that because they obviously, they made it very clear, they stated their boundaries, that they did not want anything to do with us, which is absolutely fine. They have every right to do that. We told them that we wouldn't try to contact them anymore, but that we hoped that they were safe and that we were sorry for what happened.
So like I said, if there are any victims of the Chroma system, aka Magic Clan's abuse out there, and you have screenshots and you want us to tell your story, but you want certain details or something to be kept specific or whatever, whatever, just discuss the details about it with us. DM us, we're going to be taking years to compile a long thing to make sure she never gets anywhere in life.
That's straight up a threat. That's straight up a threat. That's unexcusable.
Because we don't want her to hurt other people, even at the cost of our own mental illness or mental health. Sorry, it's hard to talk because this is it's still a very difficult topic for us, and
it is a very difficult topic. All of this is difficult. And that's part of the reason why we're doing these streams. It's to finally be able to tell our side, show everything that we have, and finally be able to start processing it, because it has gone on and been such a constant thing. So we haven't been able to process it.
we're breaking the silence finally. We're not going to let her keep us silent anymore. We're not going to let her intimidate us.
There's also something that I want to say quick about the pronouns. Patterson is using exclusively she, her pronouns to refer to us. We've always said to use they, them to refer to us collectively. Unless you are talking to or about a specific alter, which is another thing. Patterson doesn't know me as Echo. Patterson didn't know any of the alters that I used to be. None of the alters that I was, none of them had ever spoken to Patterson. Patterson's issue was with Drew. When Corey Prefusion took over as host, no, I got it. I got it. I got it. When Corey Prefusion took over as host in very early 2022, after we had been granted the restraining order against Patterson. Between then and now, Corey Prefusion did fuse with an alter we had named Evan, who was a persecutor and gatekeeper. They fused into Corvin. Corvin was host for a while. Corvin then shattered into Corey version 2 and Evan version 2. Evan version 2 still exists in our system as a protector. Corey version 2 fused with a host we had for a fairly short amount of time named Bailey. And they fused into Echo. None of those alters have any connection to Drew. The most connection that is there was Corey version 1, Corey Prefusion, thought that they were Drew for a long time until late 2021. But Corey Prefusion never spoke to Patterson. Patterson has never spoken to any of us. Patterson may have spoken to Val when Val was co-fronting. But the point that we're making here is that Patterson doesn't know any of us. Patterson has never spoken to any of us. But Patterson is still attacking us. We don't know Patterson. We've never spoken. So it feels like a complete stranger making claims without any basis. And by their own admission, trying to ruin our life. Patterson's issue was with Drew. It should have stopped there. But now, because we have all been dragged into this is what is happening.
It's not saying anything about her anymore. She holds no power, no space in our mind. We just want people to know, be fully aware of who she is, what she does, and to hopefully stop any future abuse. Recently we found out she's doxed another person, their workplace, and their family, much like she did with us.
If you are referring to the I believe it was Corey version 2 who did the stream. It was okay. I don't think it being a Dandy's World stream is relevant. But it was a Dandy's World stream. Corey version 2 had spoken about a very, very dangerous individual and had posted in a pinned comment the information that they knew about this person. They are still a extremely deranged individual who is an active danger to children. This individual this disgusting excuse for a person, has sent child sexual abuse material of our system to our friends. I don't want to hear shit about how we should not have put some basic fucking information out there about this person when they have sought out and distributed content of us when we were being trafficked by our fucking parents. I don't want to hear shit. And if you side with that person, like Patterson has done, then you are just as disgusting. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care how much you hate us. If you side with someone who has been sending child porn of us to other people, then you're just as fucking disgusting. I'm okay. 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 Why is our camera frozen? Are you kidding me? How do I even fix that? Okay, I think that fixed it. I don't know when it froze, but it should be fixed now, hopefully. How long was it frozen? Do you remember kind of what I was talking about when it froze? Okay. That's fine. We're going to just continue. As long as the mic didn't cut out, then I think it will be fine. It's not ideal, but hopefully it is fixed now. Thank you for letting us know. But that person is disgusting. Anyone who willingly sides with someone who sends around content like that of anyone, not just us, of anyone, you are not a good person if you do that. You are an absolutely disgusting individual. You may not be as bad as the person who's actually sending it around and looking at it. But if you side with someone who does, I just want to remind everyone that Patterson has called us a pedophile on numerous occasions. But Patterson is here, in their own words, siding with and defending an individual who looks up child sexual abuse material and sends it around to our friends. And we know that it's of us. Because the face matches and our name is attached to those videos. So Patterson is absolutely disgusting for defending this person. Absolutely disgusting. Hello, welcome in. It is a lot. It is a lot. And personally, I think that anyone who defends someone who looks up and distributes child sexual abuse material needs to be looked into. Patterson does need to be looked into for defending someone like that.
and falsely accusing them of pedophilia. So
Falsely accusing them of pedophilia when they have admitted to and sent our friends screenshots from videos of child sexual abuse material containing us. Is this a fucking joke? We don't make these claims lightly. This is something that happened to us. This is something that we are still dealing with and processing. And that we are learning slowly to live with. Patterson needs to be investigated for defending someone like this.
we'd like to help prevent any more situations like that by warning people ahead of time about who Chroma System, aka Magic Clan, is. Right now, this is all there is that stands for publicity, and it will be a few years before any of this goes fully public.
A few years. If Patterson does drop anything new about us, we will be addressing it. I don't care if it happens tomorrow. I don't care if it happens next week. I don't care if it takes 10 years. honestly, Patterson would be smart to not try to drop anything else on us because of what we have and what we are going to show.
Because we want to make sure that every last minute detail is 100% correct.
That's ironic that you say that, considering you accused us of falsely accusing someone who seeks out child porn of pedophilia. If someone who seeks out child porn is not a pedophile, then what are they? Genuinely, what are they? Genuinely, what else would they be?
Before we start saying anything about this individual.
Except you have said things about us since 2021. You have spread lies. You have made so many boldly false claims. You have claimed that we have committed felonies in court, illegally obtained our restraining order. No, I'm fine. I can hold front. You've claimed that we have committed felonies in court, that we have illegally obtained our restraining order against you. You have stated publicly that if we contacted the police about your harassment anymore, we would get a fine for it. If this is a joke, it's a poor one because I'm not laughing.
Thank you. I hope you understand, and please share the word if you can, so we can reach out to more victims, hopefully, and get a better understanding of what it's like for her other victims, rather than just in the shoes of her latest main victim for the past 4 years. So that would be helpful. We would appreciate you talking up against her so that we can put her at justice and have her be held accountable for her actions.
Again, Echo already stated this. We want people to hold us accountable. We want to be told if we've done something wrong so that we can address it and fix it. Our friend group can confirm this and back us up on this. We have always constantly stated that. We don't hide or shy away from accountability. And that is another reason why we are doing these streams. Because we will show everything, including the parts that don't paint us as the perfect victim. Because we are not a perfect victim. Nobody is a perfect victim. There is no such thing. We've never claimed that we did nothing wrong.
Rather than all these excuses and getting away with it, deleting her accounts, hoping that everyone forgets about her bestiality, her pedophilia, etc. So
I just want to state that it is absolutely disgusting to call a victim of animal child sexual abuse a person into bestiality. We did not ask for that to happen to us. We were a child. It was not our fault.
We just want to make sure nobody steps into that territory with her without knowing who she is ever again. We want to make sure that she never hurts anyone ever again. And we're done staying silent, especially since she broke another deal that she had made where it was like, oh, if you delete your evidence, I'll delete mine type.
We never made any deals, which we will be showing because we have screenshots. That won't be in today's stream, but it will be in the next one.
Crap. We only accepted that because we wanted peace of mind. But it's very clear she's never going to give us that because she's been stalking us everywhere and still stealing our shit. And not only that, but she did break it over and over and over and over and is still stalking. So we're no longer staying silent. And to her, because I know she's going to be listening to this, to quote your own words, good luck, get fucked. Hello.
Did we say that? I won't say that we didn't say that because I genuinely don't remember. So that was Pedersen's first TikTok. We have a few more to go through. Can we go back? Okay, let me just read this off. Actually, let me make this bigger. Can I not make it bigger? There we go. Okay, it is still a little bit hard to read, but I will read it off. Hey guys, first of all, we're making a new account, or rather, rebranding an old one. This is to avoid our abuser, but they'll likely stalk hard and find it again like they always do, because they're obsessed. We're not sure if this account is going to ever be non-private, and if it is, if it's ever going to have most content public instead of on friends only. That was a confusing sentence. If you want the username, please PM us. We're not giving it anywhere else for obvious safety reasons. If we feel uncomfortable, we may not give you the user. Please understand it's nothing personal. It's just that our abuser has used other people to get information and usernames out of us before. That is the first slide. What's the second one? All and any videos of our face will also remain on friends only for our new account. No exceptions unless it's heavily censored to where you can't tell who it is at all or any features. Our abuser has put us on full blast, doxing all our info and now putting our face along with it in an attempt to get us physically harmed. Along with that, spreading lies about us and saying we are unhinged and dangerous and armed, etc. Which, don't worry, we will address that claim. So we're not exactly safe in this household either, unfortunately. Neither is our pet or our family that lives here. They sent unalive threats for my dog and for my own life too, so shit's tough. I hope you guys understand our decision regarding our accounts and content. Let me just look at... Okay, there's nothing else different in the description. This was posted. When was this posted? August 19th of 2023. Nothing too bad there. And then there was a comment that they posted. I apologize if you can hear our tortoise next to us. That would be Jelly. She is attempting to climb the walls of the enclosure. But September 27th, 2025, Patterson posted a comment saying, "Coming back, we will no longer allow her to silence us." So that's what that is. I don't know what that sound was. Okay, that should be good for now. So that is the second TikTok. Patterson's third TikTok. Okay, the sound doesn't matter, it's just a random sound. I'm going to also read this one off because it's text. This was posted August 13th of 2023. I'm honestly really just so fucking done at this point. I've come so close to ending things so many times. The Chroma system is so fucking deranged, unhinged, delusional, dangerous, obsessive, and downright genuinely psychotic. Holy shit. I can't with their abuse and harassment anymore. If this account stops posting one day, there's one of only two reasons. I am unalived either because they put my life in literal, legitimate danger, or because I did it myself, or we stop posting here entirely to avoid further harassment from them, at least on this account. If you know the system, get the hell away from them and fast. Be warned, they really excel in manipulation and talking to people as well as faking screenshots and making up fake scenarios. Please be safe. This person is so dangerous and deranged and unhinged. No comments, so I'm not going to stay on that one. Patterson's fourth TikTok.
So if you're wondering where most of our videos went,
I'm going to first just read off the text on the screen. So the biggest one says, fucking deranged psychopath. Holy shit. The bottom one says, she won't stop mass posting our socials to FDC, yet posted herself and said, this one's not a faker though, tee-hee. STFU. The top one says, did I mention she's saving up money to come to our state and do God knows what to us? Also, she doxed our address, phone number, full name, etc. in an attempt to get us physically harmed, as well as spreading misinfo like we're dangerous and armed and shit. We're not. Which, again, we will be addressing that. Not today, but we will. We will be referencing a lot of what is shown today in future streams. This was just the easiest way that we saw to do it. I'm going to check the comments really quick. So someone says that they just unfollowed us. Patterson responds saying, please stay safe and don't say anything to them. They're really scary. My disabled family and I fear for our lives right now. I'm trying so hard to get authorities to do something about their slandering and harassment, but justice system is corrupt in, I assume that is meant to say US, but it says us, especially in my state/area. And then Patterson posted another comment, not a reply to anyone, saying, likely not going to come back. She's fucking deranged and won't leave us alone. Again, using she, her pronouns for our system. But there have been so many claims made by Patterson and people in Patterson's group that we are transphobic. But it's okay for Patterson to not use our pronouns. We don't maliciously misgender Patterson. We have never maliciously misgendered Patterson. Have there been slip-ups? Absolutely. But we cannot read minds. We do not know what name and pronouns Patterson uses when they seem to change it every 3 business days. We used she, her on Patterson after the situation that started all of this in 2021, because those were the pronouns that Patterson was going by at that point. We were called transphobic for it because we didn't magically know that they used different pronouns. We were called transphobic because we didn't know the new name that they went by. We cannot read minds. If no one tells us these things, we do not know. Because we haven't been checking on every profile of Patterson's. So how would we know? Meanwhile, we have always been clear about our pronouns and any names that we use. Yes, our legal name is Kira. There is one alter, I believe, in a subsystem who is a fictive who uses that name. Drew came out as transgender in mid to late 2018, a full 3 years before we met Patterson. So Patterson never knew us as going by our legal name. But when we met Patterson, and when we were in contact with Patterson, we only knew them as going by their legal name. I just want you to think about that for a moment. And then tell me and explain to me how that makes sense. How we are transphobic for genuinely not knowing and not being told, and being called transphobic even when we used they them pronouns because we didn't know. And we still don't know because it seems to still be changing, which it is valid to change your pronouns as many times as you want, but that does not give you the right to then call someone transphobic for not knowing. That is the point that I'm getting at. We have always been clear. I'm not going to say that we've never called Patterson transphobic, because I don't think that's true. I think we have, at least, if not publicly, we have to our friends. So I'm not going to make the claim that we never said that, because that's not true. But how is someone genuinely not knowing, and then trying to fix it and still being called transphobic over and over, and not being told the correct name or pronouns most of the time? How does that make us transphobic? But when we have stated clearly and consistently to use they them pronouns for our system, unless you are speaking to a specific alter, and to not use our legal name, which Patterson has never known us by, how is that not transphobic? How is it transphobic to genuinely not know, but it's not transphobic to know and then intentionally not use the correct name and pronouns? I genuinely want an explanation to that because I don't understand it. So if someone can let me know, that would be appreciated.
They were put onto completely private, not just friends only, just completely private, because our abuser, the Chroma system, is still mass posting us onto Fake Disorder Cringe Reddit, but also posted themselves and put, oh, this one's not faking though. Okay, but the one where they put themselves and put this one's not faking, they said there's some valid points in their document. And the points go over, hey, to Fake Disorder Cringe, these are not valid reasons to fake claim someone. And the same reasons they put in their document not to fake claim people are reasons they're fake claiming us.
I've never been shown proof of this. I've never seen proof of this. Patterson has made claims. This isn't the first time that they've made this claim, and it likely won't be the last. that we fake claim fictives, which would make us a massive hypocrite considering we have multiple subsystems that are exclusively fictives. Have we fake claimed them in the past? I don't know. I don't remember. So I'm not going to say that we haven't because we might have. And if any of the messages show any of that, then we will take accountability for that and address that. But there's no proof being shown. So I don't have much to work with here.
So, if you are friends or mutuals with this system, the Chroma system, I would suggest getting the hell out of there because they are extremely deranged, delusional, psychotic, genuinely very dangerous individual.
Didn't you say that those were things that we claimed you were? But then you almost verbatim use the same words to describe us. Again, with no proof.
Not to mention that they use their DID diagnosis, and I use that loosely because they're not actually diagnosed.
How would you know? We have shown our diagnosis on stream before. You can't just say that we aren't diagnosed and then one, not show any proof of that, and two, even if we were not diagnosed, that is absolutely none of your business. No one's diagnosis and health issues and medical records are anyone else's business.
And wave it ahead above everyone else's heads and say, hey, I'm diagnosed and you're not. Ha.
We have never said that. We have said multiple times, I have said in many of my streams reacting to people who fake claim other systems, I have said and explained that self-diagnosis is very valid if you do it correctly. I have never, none of us have ever said so. This is just things that are very clearly false that can be proven false by just doing a tiny bit of research.
You know, that kind of stuff. They literally once said, and I quote, I'm literally diagnosed, how about you, Lamau? So yeah, no, if you are...
I believe that might be in one of the chat logs, which we will go over the chat logs in one of the future streams. We have a lot to cover today. This is already a very heavy stream. I don't want to add more to what we already have planned.
friends with that system, you need to get the hell out of there because they're deranged and genuinely a very dangerous, explosive person.
Just like we said, and Corey version 2 said about Jay. About the person that you said we doxed and falsely accused of pedophilia. Are you kidding me? This is a joke. This is... And I especially can't take this seriously when there is nothing shown. I did want to say something about this up here. Did I mention she's saving up money to come to our state and do God knows what to us? When did we say that we were going to your state? The reason that we had even posted saying that we might have to go to your state had nothing to do with seeking you out. It was in case we needed to go to court in Utah for the restraining order. We don't want to be anywhere near you. Why would we go seek you out when all we've wanted is to be left alone by you?
And as for their diagnosis, no, it was literally ruled out.
If you are talking about the inpatient papers, we have already explained this. Firstly, you had no right to post those papers. You posted inpatient papers on us. They were our inpatient papers. You posted that publicly to TikTok and used it to fake claim us. If people don't know about inpatients, specifically where we went, I believe we were there a week. We saw one psychiatrist on the weekend for maybe 5 minutes. And then after the weekend was over, there was a new psychiatrist that we saw. We saw him maybe 5 minutes every couple of days. You cannot seriously be telling me that a psychiatrist who saw us for a maximum of 20 minutes throughout our week stay is more valid than the trauma specialist we were seeing at the time, who gave us our diagnosis. You cannot seriously be claiming that. That is absurd. That is a joke. I don't even know what else to say about that. It is completely ridiculous.
So, you know, they're waving it over other people's heads, yet they don't even have it. I don't know, it's just stupid. And it's stupid that this is going on and that they're mass posting us all over Fake Disorder Cringe. Not just our TikTok, all of our social medias. They're posting all over Fake Disorder Cringe. Hey guys.
But there's no... you aren't showing any proof of that. I cannot address that because there is no proof. I will not address things that have no backing to them. If there was proof of this happening, then they would have posted it. They would not be showing a black screen with some text. They would be showing screenshots and videos and literally anything. There is no evidence to this claim because it never happened. If it did happen and there was evidence to these claims, they would have been posted when these claims were made. I want to make that very clear. If you are making a claim, you need to post evidence. It is now March of 2026. If there was evidence of this post, of this if there was evidence of this claim, it would have been posted in 2023. That is all I'm going to say about that.
After finally
Okay.
So, after finally have gotten away from our abusers' sexual harassment and, sexually harassing us and mutual friends we had, and just all that gross stuff.
Where is the proof of that, first of all? I know there is still the claim going around that we have used our GID to excuse sexually harassing someone. That will be fully addressed with evidence in a future stream, because we have the chat logs for that, to show what actually happened.
They're still saying shit like, oh, they just want to bang us. What the hell is wrong with you? You are disgusting. I'm asexual, by the way. You've known that.
I genuinely can't comment on that because I don't have memory of whether they said that or not. They could have. I want to quick go into the comments because Patterson posted a comment saying, she said bang, not ban. And I want to quickly address this. The audio from this stream was one of Erez's streams. Erez uses he, him pronouns. Only he, him pronouns. We always have our pronouns with our name in our streams. How is that not transphobic? Erez does not use she, her pronouns. Erez uses he, him pronouns. Do not call Erez a she.
Also, all my social media say I use he pronouns. So by using they pronouns, you are still misgendering me.
We already addressed this. How would we know that? We are using they, them, and the name Patterson. Because it is the safest choice, because we genuinely do not know what pronouns Patterson goes by currently.
But here's the audio for anyone wondering.
I'm like trying to... Honestly, they just want to ban us. That's all it is. They are very sexually attracted to us. First of all, this is a very serious thing. Why would you put music behind that audio clip? Because I know what Erez streams. Erez streams Wizard 101. I am almost positive that this was said in one of the Wizard 101 streams. That is not music from Wizard 101. That is not music that was playing in our stream. That music was added. Why would you add music behind such a serious topic? Especially when you are claiming that Erez sexually harassed you by saying this. Why would you put music behind that? Especially music that is upbeat. That makes it look like a joke. And that's literally what it is. And they think that by stalking and harassing us, that eventually we'll cave and be like, oh yeah, we'd love to fuck you.
Reminder that this is our abuser and sexual harasser that is saying this.
Erez made a joke. Was it in poor taste? Absolutely. But it is not sexual harassment. Erez was saying that because you continuously stalk and harass us, it makes you seem obsessive. It is the same thing as us saying that you need to hop off our dick.
After having been sexually harassed by them, they are still at it. Still trying to say this shit. This is part of the fucking reason I am asexual.
Where was the sexual harassment? Because that makes it sound like there was more. Like there was sexual harassment previously. But there's nothing shown.
So when we say, if you are friends or mutuals with the Chroma system, get the hell off our page. We do not want to interact with someone who sexually harasses someone like that and still says that shit just to trigger them.
Firstly, why were you watching that stream in the first place? Were you watching all of our streams and listening to them in the background to see if we said anything about you? Because that's what it's reading like to me. If you just stayed off of our pages and left us alone, and not dug for all of this and gone through and looked at all of our streams to try and find something to use against us, then you would not have gotten triggered It's ridiculous.
They sexually harassed us, and now they are trying to say, oh, they just want to fuck us.
Where is the proof of the sexual harassment before this? I'm not saying that this audio clip was sexual harassment, because in my opinion, it was not. Was it in poor taste? Absolutely. And if it did come off as sexual harassment, then we do apologize for that, because that was not the intention. It was meant to be a joke about how you are obsessive. Because we joke to deal with our trauma. We've made jokes about our trafficking to our friends because it helps us cope with the fact that it happened.
No, the fuck we don't. Especially since a lot of the time they were sexually harassing us, it was when a little was around.
This is another claim that they have made on numerous occasions. And we haven't exactly planned out the next stream yet. We're still debating which things we want to talk about in the next one. We will be talking about everything eventually. We will be showing everything eventually. It just may not be today in this stream, because it is a lot. There is a lot of things to go through. But we will be showing the full chat log of Discord DMs between Patterson and us. So you will see that Patterson never claimed to have DID, never said they had DID, never said they had littles. In fact, in those DMs, Patterson says that they are almost entirely sure that they do not have DID. I'm not saying that they don't have DID now, because it is a covert disorder. It's meant to stay hidden. But I say that to support the fact that if there was a little around, how were we supposed to know? We didn't do it on purpose, like Patterson seems to be claiming.
I don't have most of the proof anymore, because especially since a lot of the time they were sexually harassing us, it was when a little was around.
I wish that I could read all of this. I believe that this is in the chat log of the DMs, so we will address that then. But this reads as a joke. If they were uncomfortable, they needed to say something. We are not mind readers. I want to make that clear again. Unfortunately, we just cannot read minds. We don't know if someone is uncomfortable unless they tell us.
I don't have most of the proof anymore because honestly this whole situation is triggering and has been going on since 2021. But here's part of it.
That doesn't explain why you don't have most of the evidence anymore. If it was important, and we are this dangerous system who is actively harming people, why would you ever delete any of the evidence? Why would any of that not exist anymore? That seems like it's important to have. Because we are so dangerous and deranged, and out to get you, and we have multiple victims. Why would you get rid of the evidence?
I had in my status or something, you know, massaging my back, and then they're all like, massager, huh? I know what you're massaging, Lamau. And that was...
I can't say for certain whether it was put in their status or not. I will have to look at the chat log and go over that on stream and figure that out.
just put because, well, there's nothing else to say because I was uncomfortable. They go, am I wrong? I go, it's an actual massager, but, and then they say that disgusting shit at the bottom. They have a lot of quote-unquote proof, but it's all fabricated and just fake or just snippets or just entirely out of context. So, glad to see we're being sexually harassed by them again.
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know, I just feel like if you are going to make claims like that, then you need to have evidence behind it. That's just my opinion. Now we are getting into we need a break. We need a break before we get into the other stuff. I'll put on some music in the background and take this time to go get a drink, eat something if you can, stretch, take care of yourself. We will be back.
Come down to the Black Sea, swimming with me, oh. Go down with me, fall with me, let's make it worth it, oh. 1,000 nights have passed. Change doesn't happen overnight. Not visible at first. It's important to hold on, hold on. Ooh, inject your advice to me. Ooh, incinerate our shackles. Come down to the Black Sea, swimming with me. Go down with me, fall with me, let's make it worth it out. You rise, I fall, I stand, you crawl, you twist, I turn. Who's the first to burn? You sit and stay, I don't obey. Where do we land? In the Black Sea. In the Black Sea. Where do we land? In the Black Sea. You're giving up, I'm tired. No, the tug of war that we're playing. I'm not giving up, I'm trying to tell you, to tell you, to tell you, tell you. Ooh, inject your advice to me. Ooh, incinerate our shackles. Come down to the Black Sea, swimming with me. Ooh, you and now you gon' twist your head. Don't you come at me green with an attitude, and my lips and my soul's are red. If I leave you behind, you can look for the broken necks. No, no, 'cause I've been here once or twice. Never worry about the ends. Come on, don't just stand there staring, honey. Try to move your feet. If you think they're looking at you, they're looking at me. I can make it nice and easy. I'ma take the lead. They ain't even looking at you, baby. They're looking at me.
Okay. we took a break, went to the bathroom, got more water. Also got one of these Olipop sodas that we have. They're weird. Sure. We have our lava lamp in the background. You know, this one looks nice. We got these, like, pens that are, like, scented. I think that one's fir and peppermint or something. I think this one's like green apple, I think. But it seemed really strong when we tested it. I know we have like Altoids somewhere too. Which one was like this one? I don't know what this one is. I still don't know what it is. So we got that. Sorry, I need to ground. Lavender. The walls aren't like rough. It's okay. We also grabbed a blanket, so I have it in my lap. Okay, let me make sure everything's working. Okay, it looks fine. Looks fine. Ashley's still nearby. Okay, now we have to get into the more of the things with that group of people. I need to preface this by saying we did already do, Ashley already did Ashley already did a video, like a TikTok video, and also a stream addressing this. After that was done, more claims from these people started to be posted. Absolutely ridiculous, disgusting claims. So that's in this section. We're only in the first section. I know there's a lot of pages, but a lot of that is just like pictures. This is probably the longest section, the first one.
That brain that you gave me, was it Hans Delbrooks? No. Ah, good. Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in?
And you won't be angry?
I will not be angry.
Abby someone.
Abby someone. Abby who?
Abby Normal.
Abby Normal.
I'm almost sure that was the name.
That's not even what happened. That's not what happened. That is absolutely not what happened. That's not what happened, and I'm not really going to say anything about that because I'm going to go through that group chat. which has people who did confirm that we posted it and censored it correctly and never claimed that it was just anatomy. Okay. Let me go through the comments. Genuinely, we have no idea what this is about. There was never any, like, proof shown of that. So I genuinely don't know what that was about. Jelly. Jelly baby, what's up? Jelly. Jelly, if you're not careful, you're gonna flip yourself over, baby. Come on, just chill. It's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You're okay. Okay? Okay. Sorry. She will probably do that again. But I won't be... like, going over... like... Did I already say this? And that works really well for grounding, actually. Okay. Someone actually, like, said, the term bestiality has been so watered down. Yes, that's disgusting, but far from that. And then Evergreen decided to say they admitted to being a zoophile, just couldn't fit that in for the meme, which we never said that. No proof of that was ever shown because it doesn't exist. And that's the issue with a lot of this. There's just no proof. It's just people saying things. Someone else did defend us and said, I heard bro asked permission to post the art and properly censored and trigger warned it. And that also nobody communicated with them at all that there was an issue. Not to mention they were called a pedo. Which is true. Evergreen responded, what part of animal corn is illegal equals permission because I'm not about to excuse that. The person who posted the comment said, never said that. I'm saying they got permission to post a dog. Calm down. And then said, and a groomer for reading aged up fanfics. The art was with 2 unrealistic adult characters, right? Pretty sure they drew it due to some sort of trauma, not an excuse involving animals. I forgot the name. Sorry if you heard that. Evergreen said, "Ain't your ass Bluebell?" Someone else joined in and said, "I feel like I'm missing so much. What happened with Bluebell / this person?" Evergreen said, "Bluebell got kicked for telling Littles they deserved their trauma after he wasn't privy to every single channel in the server." Someone else said, "Drawn MLP corn isn't illegal. You need to go outside." Evergreen said, "Lucy, I saw you under Cyber's video. You need to stop going through their mutuals list." Bluebell was someone who I think was on our side. I don't know if they still are or not. It's all a bit confusing and blurry, which is why I'm glad that we have the chat still. This person said, "Do you know how algorithms work?" Evergreen said, "Yes, I also enjoy trolling people who don't read captions." This person says, "You wrote an entire thesis. Who is going to read that?" Which, okay, I think we should probably read that after the comments. Evergreen said, "Everyone in the comment section but you." Someone else joined in and said, "Nobody communicated. I don't know about you, dog, but randomly sharing MLP animal corn in general is weird. Why would anyone want to see that? Trigger warning or not, there's no need for it." The original poster of the comment said, "If you took a second to actually read the rest of the comment replies, you would tell that I was seeking more information and proof that disproved what I was hearing." This person responded, "Don't see why you made the comment in the first place. Posting animal corn in general is again odd and should just be agreed. Yeah, that's bad," instead of defending said poster. Original commenter said, "Can you read what I wrote in my comment and the comment thread in general before you continue replying to me? I never defended them either. I just stated what I was told and knew and asked for the other side and any evidence, which I got. I don't know why you're dragging this on when it's done and over with." This person said, "My point is, why even post something like that in the first place? Whether there was communication or not, they're immediately in the wrong." The original poster says, "Bro, OMG, read what I'm saying, please." Evergreen says, "Hey, he agrees with us. We explained the situation to him." That person says, "Alright." Okay, these are probably way out of order, but I don't know how to get them in the right order, so I'm just gonna read them as they pop up, because I don't know the order. Original poster said, "Was it only the word enough? Because that's all I'm aware about." Chroma told me there was no indication of them being a little, nor were they told. Is there any screenshot / proof of this happening? Someone said, "Bestiality / zoo art is wrong and disgusting no matter what. Hope this helps." Yes, absolutely, but that's not what was drawn or shown. Jelly baby, you gotta calm down. I see you, you gotta calm down. I don't want you flipping yourself over again. Okay. And this person said, let me check that, hold on. Yeah, it was literally 2 characters that passed the Harkness test. If it passes the Harkness test, then yeah. Like, it passed the Harkness test, is the thing. And we're being called a zoophile for it. For something that passes the Harkness test. That we properly censored and trigger warned, which we can, in the group chat, it has, like, corroborating things. Yeah. Check yourself in regardless of if they properly trigger warn it or ask for permission. It's still disgusting and inexcusable. Weird as fuck for even defending in the first place. Basically just arguing. This didn't even happen. This is the... Yeah, Patterson was involved at this point. Because Gray, who we will also be talking about, who made some... I think maybe 2 TikToks. Yeah. Gray says they wanted to date a 14-year-old at 19 with proof. I have all the screenshots, bro. They're manipulative. No. We've already addressed this. That's not what happened. We've already addressed this multiple times, and I think we even addressed it in the group chat, which we will be going over. Person says, like, I want to hear the other side of the story and see screenshots or whatever, because what I'm hearing is a major lack of communication, making up some pretty wild stuff and fake claiming them about being a system. Yep. Yep. Grace says that no one's fake claiming us, which you'll see that that's false in the group chat. We also will be addressing the Foundation stuff when we go over that. And we might even pull up the DMs with Foundation. Was it the Slushy Boyo account? I'm trying to think of who it would be. Like, there's so many accounts. It's... yeah. Yep. Yeah. That tracks. This person said, as in, like, they think drawing the ponies together. Something bestiality, or they drew the ponies with actual animals. And then Evergreen says something absolutely disgusting. Evergreen says, as in, they drew the ponies mimicking members of the server's actual sexual trauma. No. No, the fuck we didn't. No, the fuck we didn't. That art was done in 2021. We found out that we had been trafficked at the end of 2023. So, no. Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. It's disgusting that they would even claim that. It is. It is. So let me just read the caption now. Yeah, it's a lot. Jelly, you okay? I know there's a kid running up, like, across the hall upstairs or something. You good, baby? Okay. Caption says, they are pretending that there's a defamation campaign out towards them, despite having been called out for this behavior several times in the past 2 to 3 years. They're being dramatic because they don't want their weird habits leaked to the public, despite the fact that no one was planning on saying anything until they decided that they needed to throw a fit and cue someone in the server. I don't care who you are, making someone have a seizure is unacceptable and disgusting. We will be addressing that in the group chat. Don't worry. We've got screenshots and evidence of that, and because that's another fucking disgusting claim to make about us. Jelly baby. Hold on. Jelly? Okay, you're good. I couldn't see her. I don't think I've ever seen Birdie's hair, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Okay, now we're getting into Gray's first TikTok. I know that some were taken down, and like this doesn't have all of them, I don't think. I know some were taken down. Huh, okay, interesting.
Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about Chroma System. Chroma recently unprivated their account and posted this TikTok, acting like nobody likes them and they can't.
We've already addressed this. This wasn't aimed at that group. Mirage is allowed to post TikToks expressing things that it wants to express. Within reason, obviously. But using a sound that was trending, it doesn't even mention anyone in that group. No one from that group was ever mentioned. Mirage is allowed to post TikToks and videos if it wants to. And obviously, if the TikToks they make are like dangerous and damaging, they'll be taken down as soon as we find out about it. But you can't just pull a vague TikTok, not even referring to you, out of your ass and say, oh, well, look at this. It's about us. No. 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 We never mentioned any of you. We didn't make this public until videos started coming out about us. We didn't mention the situation at all publicly until videos started being made about us because of yeah, it was because of Mirage's TikTok, which is insane. Mirage posted this TikTok a month after the situation happened, and this group decided that it was about them and started posting videos. Ashley made a response, taking accountability for what we did, explaining things and going through things. And then they started claiming that we're a handler in training. And I'm not even fucking kidding about that. They started claiming that we were a handler in training.
Keep friends for no reason. But my homies, that is not true. Chroma was friends with a group of people on a Discord server who, if they would like.
So a handler in training is basically like, it's a trafficking term. So when we were trafficked, we had handlers who would handle us. And this group of people decided to start claiming that we were being trained to do that to other people, to other kids. And Patterson decided to make the claim that we had threatened to traffic children. This is the group of people that told us that we had been trafficked. It's just all of these claims that are being made with no evidence, basically saying that we aren't a survivor of this. It's a lot. It's a lot.
To be known, they will do so in another way, but I won't be outing them. It was a fine day in the NSFW chat when Chroma asked.
I like how they don't show the full screenshot. They only show part of a screenshot.
If they could send a drawing, they did, and of course they said yes, as they didn't. Expect what was common. Asterisk, insert My Little Pony stuff. I cannot show the photo, but basically, Chroma drew and shared an LP art of specific interests and an interaction between two ponies. I cannot show the actual drawing, but
So you're just gonna block out like all of the other information, all of the other text of people discussing this, about people. After we posted this, people were complimenting the art. No one said that they were uncomfortable. If anyone at any point had said that it made them uncomfortable or triggered them in any way, we would have deleted it ourselves, immediately apologized, and tried to make it right. Jelly baby. Jelly, you gotta chill, okay? I think a dragon might be scratching at his enclosure too.
there's multiple conversations of them admitting, plus a ton of witnesses. This is a DM they sent to one of the people in the server. One of the people in.
Let me just read this out. Jelly baby, you gotta stop. Okay. We literally said we don't know what's going on with everything, but if you were negatively affected by what we sent, we're sorry. Hoping that you're safe. That's what we said. I don't understand how they show this and then still make it out to be as if we did this on purpose and are malicious, horrible people. It's a lot.
The server. They also tried to fake claim someone's
Can you show
trauma.
that?
This whole
Okay. This is a very, very out of context screenshot because it doesn't show the beginning of it. It doesn't show that this was a server. It doesn't show that this was a server specifically made to call out Foundation. We didn't make the server. We were made a mod in that server. It was a server made, I don't remember who made it. But it was just... we were... Jelly, baby, you gotta stop. Please. I don't know why my Wi-Fi went out for a second there. Oh, hold on. Jelly, baby. Baby, what you want? Here. Now I gotta move this. Okay? What you want? You want attention? I'm busy, baby. You gotta chill. You gotta chill. It's okay. It's okay, baby. I don't want you flipping yourself over again. Okay? You worry me. Yeah, how about you just sit here and just relax, okay? I will fix it. I'll find a way to fix